morning. Hopefully y'all can hear me this morning. My name is Ashley Hardy, and I'm actually the mother of 5 children. But we're going to talk about this morning our oldest daughter named Madison. Madison attended Quitman School District from grades 6th through 8th grade. And unfortunately, a lot of damage was done. And we've since had to forcibly move schools. Maddie was a happy and vibrant student, full of life. She was a junior high school cheerleader for 3 years at Quitman School District. She was a cross-country runner and an AB honor roll student until the 2023 and 2024 school year. Maddie became a victim of bullying, and instead of helping, the administration responded. It had only been 3 months. This behavior allowed Maddie to fall prey to a predator in Quitman School District as she became a shell of herself. And in early 2024, despite warning administrators of an inappropriate relationship occurring between staff and another student to our daughter, administrators instead called the resource officer to escort my husband out of the building. This was not before my husband demanded our daughter was not allowed to be accessed to the counselor. This was documented in emails. This was also documented in our recordings of that day during that incident on Valentine's Day of 2024 this year. Despite our concerns and warnings, the guidance counselor was allowed unlimited access to our child. The much older predator, who was 3 years older, for reference, our daughter Maddie at the time was 13 and this predator was 16 years old. Maddie was an 8th grader and this child was an 11th grader. She was allowed instead to gain more access to harm our daughter by being allowed unlimited access as well as counseling, oftentimes conspiring with the counselor to have our daughter come in for counseling sessions multiple times a day. Once the sessions were completed, Maddie was then never protected once more and was never escorted back to class. The predator was then able to gain control and began psychologically abusing our child that ultimately led to our daughter being sexually assaulted while in school. The predator was then able to continue it, and despite our parents' concerns, me and my husband's concerns, and reports of the sexual assault to Quitman PD, the school did nothing, and that school remained in school last year and is in school today with 0 repercussions. Never once was DHS called. In fact, DHS was weaponized against us, and DHS was called on our family. When they came out to our home, they closed the case, and they weren't sure why Quitman PD and Quitman School District had ultimately called them on our family. We, in fact, had to call Arkansas Crimes Against Children, and we are the ones who filed a report on our daughter's case. After the first sexual assault, our daughter went inpatient for attempted suicide. And unfortunately, after 7 days, she was, let out on her way. It's an inpatient stay here in Arkansas. And she went back to Quitman schools. She was there for 6 days. And despite our continued warnings by emails, telephone, phone calls, all of which have been recorded and documented, our child Maddie was then sexually assaulted again. From that point, Maddie's mental health has deteriorated so badly that she has gone 4 additional times to inpatient mental health treatment and was diagnosed with PTSD from her assaults, depression, anxiety, and self-harming behavior. Maddie, from early April through the end of school, never went back to school because she continued inpatient in mental health. Despite everything being done by us, from multiple police reports, calls, and emails, the administration still did nothing. In fact, we were even told we were not allowed to bring our concerns to the Quitman School Board and that it was being handled by any and all administrators. The latest response by the school administrator reads in part, "We have received the mental health records. Let us know when you would like us to enroll Maddie back in school." Out of options and unsure if our child was going to be alive day to day, we reached out to the Department of Education. We were able to present countless emails and phone recordings between us and the administrators, and they did find that Quitman Schools was guilty. And they did, in fact, violate all policies and procedures relating to sexual harassment and sexual assault. It is both alarming and concerning, the lack of accountability by the administrators and the inability to keep students safe. Instead of remedying the situation, we were forced to leave and change schools to protect our remaining children. The Arkansas State Police advised us to protect our other children that we would have to move them because Quitman schools refused to protect any of them. In fact, the predator had then tried to go after our second oldest child as well. To date, Maddie has continued her journey to hopefully recover one day, but these acts caused by the direct lack of supervision and inability to keep Maddie and our other children safe, along with all the other children safe at Quitman schools, have not only dramatically changed her life, but a lot of other children's lives as well, and her life will never be the same. The hope is that very soon the administrators are held accountable to the highest degree so this never happens to another child or their family ever again. I thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Hardy, for coming in. I have no words. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much.
And appreciate, I know it took a lot to come to speak in public. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you all for hearing me speak. I know a lot of us have been silenced, but we won't continue to be silenced anymore. I do appreciate the Department of Education finding at least one branch of guilt that, they were found guilty of not following policies and procedures, but that's just a piece of the pie here. The administrators are still there and are still continuing to allow this to happen to many, many other children. So,
thank you, board members. It has come to my attention that local boards do not always allow public comment. Our board is always open for public comment, and I think sometimes I personally would like to see that modeled in every district. With that, we will be hearing more soon. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
With that, is there anyone else signed up for public comment? Okay. Board members, any questions or concerns before we close out? Okay. It's a hard way to end a meeting. I'm so sorry. But with that, our December board meeting is concluded. Thank you all.